I'm in Canton, Ohio, working this week, and just took a little bit of a breather this afternoon, and so just took a walk down here. This beautiful area. It's near a little creek, and there's some nice little garden area just to hang out and sort of recharge for a minute. And I was just thinking about something I wanted to share with you. I was talking to Jason Zilge recently, and he and I were talking about how it seems like sometimes leaders get frustrated, right? Like, we've been doing this hop stuff now for several years. Why aren't our numbers getting much better, right? Except we're not really changing much yet. We're getting better at learning, that's for sure. We're getting better at learning what it really takes to get the work done. But I don't think we've really changed work that much yet. We're kind of getting. I have an old maintenance friend of mine. He says, we're getting what we built. And I think we are getting what we built. We haven't really rebuilt this yet. We're making some improvements, but in some cases, actually, some of the systems we have in place, they've been in motion for a long time. To even redirect some of these is going to take a lot of effort and a lot of design work, as Andy, my work partner, says all the time. And so don't give up. We definitely need to keep moving in this direction. We certainly don't want to slip back to our old ways of like blaming and punishing and making people feel bad when they mess up. But I also think that oftentimes we thought work was like better than it really is, and now we're realizing that, man, all these things we thought the procedures were pretty darn good and processes were pretty good. Really, it was a lot of people that were very experienced and quite smart keeping our systems propped up and running. Now we're losing a lot of those folks. They're leaving, and by the way, some of our systems are actually getting worse. It's the law of entropy. I think it's kind of winning in some cases. We can't keep up with the decay. It's happening so fast. So we need to keep moving forward, but we got to start talking more seriously about, okay, when we design new systems, we've got to get more of the voice of the worker in there. We've got to understand more, what does it take to have a system that can handle the human who will mess up, right? When we say this all the time, humans are amazingly adaptive, brilliantly resilient. We're just not very reliable, and so we got to build systems that can handle that human condition. But it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of energy and effort, and we can't expect that. This is not some shiny new thing that we can just do this thing for a bit and here we go, our numbers are great again, or are great. No, actually, it's going to take some effort to change the way we do work. So, anyway, I hope it's not discouraging. I don't mean for it to be, but I just think it's reality. We are getting better at learning. That's a great start to all of this. We are starting to get a little better, I think, at understanding what sort of defenses we need to have in place and what sort of capacity we need. But I don't know that we've really changed a lot yet. Doesn't feel like it to me. I haven't seen it a lot yet. But we do know at least, I think, the direction we need to go. So remember this too. Your numbers are important, but your numbers without the context behind those numbers aren't that helpful, right? I mean, I really need to know the context behind a metric. A metric or a KPI without context, it doesn't really tell me anything. And it actually could be misleading, because we may think the numbers are looking a certain way and reality is quite different. So I think the biggest thing I can say is that we're getting better at understanding reality, which I think is very, very important. Now let's take what we're learning, right? Learning and improving is vital. And with those that help us understand this, let's come up with some ways to build better work and start seeing what happens. But anyway, I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a good week, wherever you're at. And until next time, thanks for dialing in and listening for a couple of minutes. Take care.